Welcome back to Talkative. I'm your guy, Mac is Legend.
Overtime, Chris in the house.
Man, listen, we had a good weekend, man, with the with all this with the Super Bowl. But one thing I do want to say real quick, pre-rolls, I forget. Make sure you comment, like, rate, and review.
All of the above.
We need all that, right?
Yes, we need the love.
We need the love. I mean, we want to give love back.
People
right?
have been subscribing to the YouTube. Like I said, the SoundCloud does fine. Like,
right.
It's consistent. I'd like that to grow a little bit more, but I got to do a little bit more research on how to get that going.
I ain't mad at it, man.
You know, but
the last time we did this though, we only had how many people at that time? It was like.
What you talking about? On the YouTube?
The YouTube. It was like 7 people or something.
Man, like 7 or 8.
And now it's like, what, 34,
30,
something like that?
34, 36, something like that.
Come on, man.
So,
we appreciate every last one of them jokers.
And like I was telling him, like I was telling you, like, it doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
The same thing you're going to do with 5 is the same thing you're going to do with 5,000.
Absolutely.
500,000. So, yeah, like, I'm going to entertain the 30 that show up.
Dude, like, I ain't mad at that. But plus, look, when you're on the video, you can see things that you cannot see.
That's true.
On the audio. The audio, you can hear.
Moving forward, you definitely going to start to see some more production value.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Oh, yes.
It'll probably be an incentive to kind of watch a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds good right there.
And even if, let me just say this too, because I always push the SoundCloud users to a certain side. Like, y'all might want to come subscribe to the channel because of some of the content that's going to be coming to the channel. It might be valuable, might be something that you're interested in.
You see how Overtime puts that in there? He puts it in there like the movie Us. We just give you like a little show of it, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're going to be like, oh, okay, this is what it is?
Yeah, so,
I like how you stuck that in there.
Just a little something there. You know, just whatever. I need to pull my notes up, so hold on.
Take your time. Pull your joints up. Should I go ahead? All right, so look. For y'all doing that, though, we do appreciate you doing all the comment, like, rate, review, and definitely getting on YouTube. We appreciate the love. And not only that, we want to give y'all some good content, so being there, you're going to see and hear better content. Sure. Now, first thing we want to talk about is the watch of the week.
Okay,
right?
yeah. You put me on to that,
dude.
Man. You put me on that. Yeah, that movie was
Polar.
Okay, so Polar.
On
Netflix.
Yeah.
Not
Polar
gonna
on
give
Netflix.
Too much of it away because I want you want people
but
to go
we gonna
watch
talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, we gotta talk about it. You know, we gotta say a couple things about it. We ain't gonna give everything away.
Yes, sir.
But it's just basically centered around an assassin who is kind of reached the point of retirement. You know, reached that age where it's like
they make 50 seem old.
Yeah, they did.
do. I mean, I was like,
to be
guess
fair,
in that business,
you know, your joints probably ain't doing what they, probably ain't as old as,
Yeah.
Actually, to that point, I am actually dealing with that situation. Today? Yeah, man. I was doing kettlebell swings the other day, and an angel flew out of my back, bro. It was just like that was.
Okay.
It was one of them types.
Said, look, I know you think you can just be doing this.
We got to that 15th swing, and at my angel emoji just came right out of my back, and I dropped the whole.
My man dropped his soul out
hit
of
the floor. Yeah, like just made a little.
Yeah, you were beyond. And
done. Lee hadn't left. This is when I was working at home this day.
Yeah.
So Lee was like doing something on her work laptop. She turned around. Are you okay? And I am in the fetal position on the floor. Like it was bad. Like
so, you pulled something?
I pulled the fuck out of my back.
Is it the lower back?
The up, like the mid back.
Ooh, you need that for everything. Yeah, putting on socks.
First of all,
put on some socks.
Exactly what I said. I was like, yo, you can't do nothing without a back.
You can't breathe good without that, man. You can't do nothing,
bro. I was like literally taking short breaths that day because it was just like.
People like, you all right?
I was like,
man.
But it was one of those, I probably should have just did the original workout that I was scheduled to do. But my dumb ass woke up and was like, the first post I saw on my IG was The Rock. And Rock be moving some weight.
Come on.
So you like, all right.
It's not light.
The Rock moving weight on Monday.
Oh, man.
Why can't I?
After he just took all his steroids.
Right. Exactly.
Love to do to death, but ain't no way he's 50-some years old in that diesel.
We all know that's a story for another day.
Dude, my brother said he gets bigger every year. I mean, like
it's amazing.
He puts on more muscle.
But you know how they'll say I'm a it's genetics and all that. I'm like, it's partially genetics.
No doubt.
But it's partially some juice.
Exactly.
Okay?
He got some juice.
Some grown-up juice, okay? You probably got it from A-Rod. Okay?
Yeah, my man got a little bit of Mexican in him. That's all I can try to tell you.
Yeah, so anyway, Polar.
Yeah.
Dude's a little, he's older. He's on the older end.
I gotta find out that guy's name, man.
Yeah, man. Please find out his name because I have. because he's gonna be the new Liam Neeson. Okay, because we gotta get Liam Neeson the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about some with him, right?
Yeah.
Something was said about him.
Did you?
I don't know. I knew it was. I got a piece of that. What happened?
The dude in Polar gonna be the new Liam Neeson, so they need to hire him to do all the Taken 3 through 4 and Taken Again. You know, because that's all Liam Neeson is good for. He's only good for that one role.
Are you talking about because he said something like the thing that he's in the news for right now?
Yeah, okay. So I didn't want to talk about him or whatever, but no, really, what happened was, somebody that was close to him came in told him that she was accosted, raped by some African American people. Okay. So he said that in the spur of anger, he went out and he had a crowbar and he went out in the streets looking for
a man got a crowbar.
No, looking. Yeah, you know how just some stupid said something stupid on some British channel, and he said he went out looking to kill. A darkie. You know what I'm saying?
Did he use the term darkie?
Pretty much. I don't want to use the term he used.
Wow.
But, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get me one.
I can use that term, but it's just
right.
If you really want to do your research on that, you can find it. You can find it on. But he said that, so I'm just like, all right. So there's kind of them feelings inside of you. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody gonna even if you thinking it. You know what I'm saying? Like you.
That's something,
this is
man.
The thing I say.
But he said like a decade ago, though, right?
Anger, alcohol, and jealousy.
Yeah.
When you start to talk, and you're in any one of those states, a lot of time the truth is gonna come out.
Come on, Chris.
A lot of time the truth. When you angry at somebody, and you
all of a sudden it just comes out.
You could be mad at your homegirl. Well, bitch, I ain't never liked your hair no way.
And they be like, everybody get quiet all of a sudden. I'm like, what?
Every time I come,
that's
exactly. It get personal because you'll start to say things that are cut and literally.
Your toes freak me out anyway. They be like, all this time you never liked my toes.
All this time,
you ungrateful mother.
It's literally that type of thing. So with Liam, it's just like, come on, bro, come on,
man, that's crazy, dude.
Get your ass up out of here. So we got a new guy.
Okay, yeah. So it's Mads Mikkelsen. His name is Mads Mikkelsen. This dude's name is Mads, like
MADS.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fire already.
He's fire already, right?
Already, yeah.
How can you look at your son? But you know I'm gonna name my son
Mads.
I was thinking about Eric, maybe Tommy. Mads
Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen.
All right, yeah, I'm digging that. Right? I'm digging that. But anyway,
I mean, you know how I would be, man. If my name was Mads.
He played the hell out of this role. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He did a really good job in this role.
He did, man. He really did.
So anyway, we off to this is
no. It's all good. We don't talk.
So literally,
yeah.
He's an assassin in this assassin group, this assassin corporation. They're hit for hire people, blah blah blah, and all that kind of stuff. Right. So the whole, I guess, plot, not without giving too much of it away, is he's at odds with the agency that he is working for upon his exit. And some things ensue, and it makes for great entertainment. And there's also a plot twist in there of somebody he finds in the film. Oh yes. That without giving that away, so there's a plot twist in there. Plot
twists are always good, but I do want to talk about one particular scene.
Yeah, do that.
So one scene in it, I like to mess a little things up, and I kind of want to jack something up for you real quick, which is only gonna make you want to see it, I think.
Right.
But there is this torture scene in there. That is great. Like, whoa.
That's insane. I died 3 times before. Like,
absolutely.
I was just like, ooh. Lee had the blanket over her head. Like, I'm saying, like,
anytime that medieval torture type of stuff you got to go through, man, on these movies.
Yeah.
Medieval torture just be like, oh my God. Now, let me say this.
Have you seen Red Sparrow?
No, I never saw that.
Oh my God, there's a torture scene where it's like they have this, like, you know how things, you have something that'll peel like a, like a pear or apple, like a peeler.
Yeah.
This dude was locked down, right? And they were trying to get information from him. And they were just going layer by layer.
Ooh. Like
over
slow
this
with
dude's
it?
Skin. Slow. It was just slow
and
peeling.
It's just coming out like,
and I was just sitting there like, that? Because everybody knows what a paper cut feels like.
Right.
So imagine just a long paper cut.
Ooh.
A long paper cut.
And paper cuts
then
feel
you start
worse
to
than
get
like
down, and then he's like, all right, we're about to get to the nerves. And that's when people start to actually talk. When you get to the nerves.
I'm talking.
Yeah.
I can just show me. Just show me. Wait, you going to use that? Oh, I tell you what, it was Billy.
That was a good movie, so whatever. We ain't talking about that right now.
Well, I'm going to tell you, okay, so look, that's what I'm saying. So the torture scene about it was just, incredible. I think you want to see it for a lot of different reasons. I did think that was like, oh my God. But I will say this.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the energy, the vibe, the color, the action of it in a good way. Reminds me of, what was the Chef Chelios movie?
You said somebody I did.
His name was Chef Chelios in the show, in a movie.
Chef Chelios?
Chef Chelios.
Okay.
It was it was called okay, what's the guy who plays Shaw in Hobbs and Shaw, right? So you know that new movie.
I'm Jason Statham.
Statham. Okay.
I know him.
Yep. So it's him, and he was in a movie. Oh wait. Here you go. Crank.
Okay.
Now Crank was wild and crazy. I'm saying, man, why are you gonna say that? But
Keep
it was
talking.
wild like that. Yeah, it was wild like Crank in the sense that when you had Crank, you had a lot of energy, a lot of scenes, a lot of crazy type of wild stuff happening at one time. You know, wild sex scenes, all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna show you Crank, man. You gotta remember Crank, bro.
I remember Crank.
Oh, you remember Crank?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So
of course.
that high paced kind of wildness of it, that's kind of
That was a movie where his heart was stopping, and then he needed to get electric voltage to keep it going. And the whole movie was just like, and
I know
shot in 240 frames per second.
Absolutely. Now it wasn't that fast paced. You know, it wasn't like that, but it had this kind of wild, energy or wild type of scenes to it.
Right.
So that's one thing I thought about when I thought about it. But no, great movie.
You put me onto it, and like it didn't even like when you mentioned it the first time, like I was telling you, it didn't even come up in our in our feed. And then literally, like, I don't know, we got on there one day and I saw it. I was like, oh, that's the thing that Mac mentioned. So yeah, we just put it in there. And our list, we have, the my list of everybody has a my list, but I feel like our list is kind of like we put movies in there and then we just kind of like forget to watch them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's like a trash can almost, literally. Like we just put it in there and we like, and then we like, all right, let's watch something on Netflix, and we'll sit there and we'll just scroll all day. No, you don't want to watch that. Don't want to watch that.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing about I've realized now that Netflix feeds you material, right?
Yeah, they do.
So you go in there like, okay, they are just like, okay, look, I can tell you like this kind of material.
Because there's another movie in there, movie, miniseries, whatever. It's always the lines are blurred. Man, let me look it up because I don't want to mess it up. But it has she was in Chewing Gum.
That's the name of the movie?
No, she the
she's chewing gum in the movie.
No. One of the main actors was in this show called Chewing Gum. I don't know if you know that.
Good God.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
never heard of that.
It was hilarious. It was a hilarious show. You can probably still watch it on Netflix. I'm positive.
Okay,
like,
Chewing
I'm fairly
Gum.
certain.
Yeah. Got to check that one out.
It's called Chewing Gum. I can't. Hold on. It's gonna come right up.
Take your time.
When after this thing stops spinning. But anyway, Netflix makes it really hard for us to get out to the movies. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Because they're providing you with so much content that is actually good. Like that movie was good. That movie was like could have been released to me.
Yes.
Like, so I don't know, man. Netflix making it real hard for you people out here. Make like literally like, cause I gladly give you $9 a month.
That's what I'm saying.
$10 a month if you giving me, stuff
good,
like this every even if a good movie don't come out, but every quarter, like 2-3
exactly.
more,
and that's probably
it's still worth it,
dude. That's what I'm saying.
You go to the movie, you get $14 for your ticket,
easy.
14 for
Shit,
me,
20.
You know what I'm
20,
saying?
man.
Like, so
and then you gonna get something because you're hungry, man.
Exactly.
And it's man. You end up spending daggone $50, man, going to a movie. So you're right. That's pretty much all you got to pay half of a year for Netflix. So nah, that's a good call, man. Again, I think it was a great cast, man, in this movie. I was excited about it. That dude, the mean guy, the bad guy, whatever, the villain in the whole movie, man.
Oh, that was great.
That dude, he played his role.
Oh, he definitely.
I thought he really was like
he
that.
He definitely did his thing.
I still think he's really like that guy.
Yeah, it was like he was lightweight annoying.
Ooh,
he was lightweight annoying.
He was much more than just lightweight. This cat, his real name is Matt Lucas. I'm looking at Matt Lucas. Oh, it says he's a comedian.
Black Earth Rising is the name of the movie.
Oh, good God.
And the actor in it is
Black Earth.
What is her name? Where is her name at? That ain't her.
Black Earth Rise. Oh, yeah. I saw a preview for this.
Yeah, Terrence told me
this shit. That joint looks serious though.
Yeah, so
you're like, you can't go and watch that and be like
Black Earth
happy.
Rising. You know
you ain't gonna be happy after you watch that joint.
Nah, it's one of those I don't want to turn on like on days when I when I'm up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
man,
When
I
I'm
can't-
feeling good. Like,
Yeah, I can't do that kind of stuff. That's gonna pull me
ain't for
down. I'll
those
be
type
like-
of days. I'm like, I'm gonna watch that on a Monday.
Yeah.
This is a Monday watch.
Black
You know what I'm
Earth
saying?
rising and Mac Newell lowering because I'm gonna
Yeah.
feel sad. I'm gonna be like, yeah, my
You
spirits will
already
be
know.
low.
You already know.
Nah, no doubt, man. Well, listen. Okay, so that was Polar. Commercials. Super Bowl.
First, just Super Bowl. Did you watch?
Well, I did watch only
Of
because
course you did watch. Never mind.
Yeah.
Mac definitely watched the goddamn
Yeah, I
Super Bowl.
had to watch
no,
it,
No,
man.
no. I mean, I get why you watch.
Yeah.
I get why you watch. But no, I didn't. We didn't watch. I didn't
Yeah.
watch Super Bowl. I didn't partake. And I was pleased to know that this was the lowest rated Super Bowl since 2004.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that's saying,
Normally the numbers keep going up, right?
that's saying
Normally.
well, one, I think partially that there's a lot of, I guess, nuances to that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it is Patriots fatigue. Like the Patriots just keep getting there and they keep winning.
Yeah.
So sometimes when a team is winning and like when the Bulls were winning in the NBA,
Exactly.
it was
they're
just
gonna
different because you still had these like rivalries and the game was actually good. Like when the Bulls played the Knicks, it was an excellent match, but the game was boring. I heard one because it was like 13-3.
Yeah,
So I mean, I looked at the score and I was just like, yeah, that was probably terrible.
No,
Okay.
yeah. Well, let me say this. See, I'm not a fan of any team.
Oh yeah, me.
I don't have a team that I could say, oh, I want them to win, or I want them to. I don't look at it at all for that reason.
Yeah.
I like simply if I do now. Okay, you got your reasons why you didn't want that you didn't watch it.
Yeah,
and we could talk about it. I mean, that's good if you want to rap about it.
You know.
Yeah, all right. I ain't got
at some
to.
point.
Well, okay. Well, listen. My thing was this. I probably. If the Super Bowl is on and people are there, see, I like celebration and I like parties and I like going to social events.
I got you.
So
I got you.
normally, for me, if the Super Bowl is on this weekend, boom, I'm going there because somebody's having to get together.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk. I'm really there for the family or the people I'm there with.
Word. So
I don't really care if it's being played or not.
Yeah.
Personally.
So in saying that, we weren't invited to anything. So like,
Right.
if we would have been, we would have went.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's not necessarily involved in the commerce of the actual Super Bowl. Like that's if the person at that house wants to watch and partake in it,
Right.
that's fine.
Right.
I'm here for the family, the party, the
Exactly.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. We could be playing cards in the corner. I could be in another room playing video games with the kids. Blah blah blah. All that kind of stuff. I'm good with that. My thing is just if there's anything like my stance on where I am with the NFL, and it's not even just because of inequality situations, situations that they're trying to silence. It's like, brothers, like they do a very good job of silencing issues that people really, 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 really need to pay attention to. Like, and I'm just saying, like, parents, you know what I mean? I tell all the parents, stop signing your kids up for playing football.
Wow.
Stop.
Wow. Okay.
Is it
because of
there's too much
of the
research
right
that is available now that shows you that it's a detriment to their health when they get to be my age and older.
Yes.
Not when they're younger. Nah, they can run into each other all day.
Yes.
But outside of that point, there's some other things that the NFL does in back channels that I hear about because, I mean, to be quite frank with you, I know people in the business of the National Football League. So it's just like I know a lot more than some others do. So it's very hard for me to watch something.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to watch something knowing what's going on in the background. To silence certain movements and to change around certain narratives so they can, putting a spin on it, as they say in entertainment. Let's put a spin on this and let's make it positive. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I just don't interface with it. So my whole thing is like I don't like to talk about it because
I feel you. I get it.
It starts a conversation that I don't like having.
Yeah, right. And we gotta get. I mean, look, no,
you
I
can
feel
watch and do whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It ain't my thing, right?
This just ain't me, man.
I'm not mad at it, bro.
It's not my thing anymore.
I mean, look, the good thing about it is one thing I do like is when people stick to what it is that they feel and they believe. Like
absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, people need to really learn the true definition of what a boycott is.
Yeah, there we go.
Because people like
I'm
literally
boycotting.
like
Kinda.
Joe Budden on his podcast, like he like literally highlighted like there's a lot of people that will comment to kind of be down with the vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yeah, I'm with Cap.
Right.
I'm with this. I'm with that. But in actuality, no, you're not. You know
That's
what I'm
a good
saying?
point.
Boycott means total abstaining.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing anything
Right.
that's going to provide or bring light to that situation.
Exactly.
And making money in a sense. Like, you watching the game at the house is not what I'm talking about.
Right.
But you walking around in a Ravens jacket.
Yeah.
With the Nike symbol on it, that's
You spent money into that,
money on that.
Into
so
that
you
industry.
put money into that that economy.
That's right. That's right.
You put money there.
Yeah.
So I'm not spending money on it.
Right.
So that's what boycott means.
Hey,
like,
man, look,
we
I'm with it.
boycotting McDonald's don't mean it's like, well, my mama brought it for me, so I mean I could eat it.
I used her money, really. It wasn't mine.
It wasn't really. Nah. People try to find every
they do.
loophole around.
That's true.
When they So yeah, man. It's
you want that 60s kind of boycott. Like, look, nah, we not standing
We're
for
not
it.
doing that, man.
No, I'm with it. And that's the thing. Look, and we don't have to get into it. I mean, my biggest thing about it is, look, like I say, it's one of those things that I love when somebody has something that, even when I'm trying to work out, I'm trying to be healthy or something, and I'm out with my boys, whatever, and I don't choose to drink or choose to eat certain things.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man, it ain't gonna mess you up. Like, nah, dude, this is what I'm doing.
Exactly.
So I like when you stick to your guns. This is what we doing. Fine.
Yeah. So it's funny how you like, okay, well, how did you see the Super Bowl commercials? Because they released the damn Super Bowl commercials before the Super Bowl. I don't know if y'all know that.
Yeah.
If you get on YouTube, you can
they
see.
They spend all that money. They gonna make sure people
They
gonna see
gonna
them damn
make sure
commercials.
you see the commercial,
That's
and
the
they know
truth.
people aren't flocking to TV no more. So all of the commercials that I highlighted, I said, I saw the Uncle Nearest, of course. We're gonna talk about that.
Yes,
we're going
we
to come
will.
back, but
Yeah.
like I want to say, like the Audi commercial and the Expensify 2 Chainz commercial were the two of the ones that stood out to me. Everything else was just kind of like,
I think
whatever.
you're completely right.
Yeah.
Most of the commercials that came on, I was kind of like, either I didn't get it, or it was too
You didn't
much.
care?
I didn't care,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay. And like the Bud Light one with the whole Game of Thrones thing.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do want to see Game of Thrones coming out, but I was just kind of like,
was clever.
It was
But
clever. It was
like,
clever.
okay.
But I'm tired of Bud. I'm tired of the Bud Light. But I hate to say it.
Yeah.
I guess people really like those kind of things. It's not bad. I'm just. And plus, you put it in I don't know. So
Nah,
anyway,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I couldn't care. I couldn't really care anymore about it.
Yeah.
Or is it couldn't care any? I couldn't care any less. Whatever.
However
You
you,
get what I'm
said it
saying?
is the right way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
You
I'm
get it.
saying? Like,
But when you pointed out the Audi, the purgatory.
yeah, I call it the
That
Audi
is hilarious, dude.
Audi. I don't know how you say it. I mean,
Yes.
it's just, but I call it the electric car purgatory commercial.
That was a good call. That was a good call though.
Because it was like, dude, literally
Bruh.
was in like heaven. Like, dog was about to pull off in that thing. Dad was there.
Dad was there. Pops
Everywhere.
there. The grass, all that.
Oh my
He was
God.
living his best afterlife.
Exactly.
He was living his best afterlife.
And then like it's like you see him in the car and he's making like this like
Yeah, like,
no, it's like and they say pooh, and then you see
I thought he was
like
about to bust a nut or something.
yeah, exactly. I ain't know
Like, he
what
really
was
loved that
going
car.
on. I
He
was
said,
like,
this car is the shit.
what is
Does this car
happening?
come with a hand job?
Yeah.
Let me find out.
because how they set the commercial
How
up
they
at
doing it?
first, it was one of those, okay, this is a heartstrings commercial. It's
Yeah,
pulling at your
right. And
heartstrings.
you're like, his dad, man.
His dad,
He ain't
man.
seen his dad.
And then he's like doing this like choking motion in the car, and then he wakes up and he's at this whack ass desk. The color correction of the actual office was perfect because it was like dark and blue and very mundane.
Right.
And she's like, welcome back. And he looked at her like,
you should have let me die.
Like-
Please let me die. Please.
he grabbed another cashew.
Yeah,
like,
something like, please, let's put this right back on the end.
like, yo, that was
That was
clever.
hilarious.
That was a
and
clever
she was like, "Who you
commercial.
almost a gone or something like that." You know?
Yeah,
And he's thinking,
almost gone. And he was
Yeah.
like, damn, I was.
this
Like,
dude had the worst life going back to, and I hated it because in his life, you can already tell he ain't gonna be able to get that car.
oh no.
That won't never happen in the real life.
Not in that position.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
In the position
No,
he was
in that position, everybody know what the position that is.
you're gonna have to level up, bro.
Absolutely.
You have to get made or something.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly. You got to learn to get made because,
you
bro,
gotta have to
that ain't
take
gonna
a
happen
class.
for you. But I swear, man, that car. First of all, that car looked
Was
amazing.
Was fly.
as
And then
hell.
the thing about the commercial said that they want 80% of their fleet by 2023 to be all electric.
Bruh.
So, that's
Good God.
my next ride when
Electric.
I buy one will be an electric car.
Good God.
I'm not paying. I'm like, it's just stupid.
Fuck
like
gas. Well,
so
you
it's
don't
not.
need it.
You can't even have that argument anymore. Like I already plug it in because literally
no.
You can find anywhere. Like, I go to
Yeah.
the Trader Joe's and people plugging their cars in.
Good God. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the Tesla stations will start popping up here and there. There's another company called Rivian that has some SUVs coming out. So there's a lot of money being poured into that
besides money. You know what the worst thing about pumping gas is for, different than probably charging a car?
The price.
It's besides price. Smelling like gas.
Oh yeah, when your hands.
Yeah,
and
like you get back in the car, and you're supposed to be going somewhere, you looking nice, smelling good, all of a sudden you get in the car, smell like gas.
OG told me to keep the damn cologne in the car. Because sometimes you gotta hit it.
You gotta hit
it again, man.
Oh, he ain't lying.
Because you at the gas station,
bruh.
you gotta hit it again.
He ain't lying.
Okay.
People be thinking that cologne game is a joke, man. Today, I got this one cologne, speaking of which, that I got up, man. I ain't telling nobody about.
Okay.
I'm gonna show it to you. I ain't got it yet.
Okay.
That bad boy costs an arm and a leg. But when it come out, it better smell like this Audi. When I put it on, I want what the Audi dude was going through to happen to me when that's how it's gonna happen.
I got you.
So I'm excited about that, but I put you onto that one. Love that commercial. You got to pay the Expensify 2 Chainz commercial. Oh, that was dope.
It was clever.
That joint
it's just
was
blended,
clever.
because he wrote a complete song to it. Usually a commercial is like 30 seconds, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But he actually wrote a song centered around this application that is for people to track their expenses for businesses or whatever. So I thought it was a clever way, and it's really the reason I put it on here is because I'm like, all right, if my kids remember the commercial,
right,
and that was their favorite commercial.
A good point. That
was their favorite commercial.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, yeah, it's something that you remember. All the other ones were kind of just like a blur.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Nothing
That's
really
true.
stood out. Like I remember back in the day, like maybe fifth grade, sixth grade, when the Budweiser, everybody came to school doing that.
That's true.
So
they did.
I liken that to like I imagine in the middle schools and the high schools they're singing their Spencer, like literally in some sense, like they're doing the same thing. Yo, did you see the 2 Chainz commercial? Like,
dude, what is that? What is that? They always put that little
the clap.
They always do that.
Yeah.
That joint on every song that I hear,
it always gets you.
It gets you hype.
Yeah,
no matter what, you be like, come
never
on,
not get you hype.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that joint, man. But they put it all in, and the funniest thing about it is my man with the third eye, though.
Yeah,
that was still kind of freaking me out. That was kind of gross.
Weird.
But yeah, it was kind of weird. Okay. But other than that, man, 2 Chainz. I mean, it definitely had his flow to it.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, man. So listen, man. I will say this. There was an article that came out. They said the best commercial for the Super Bowl came out after the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah. It's a whole article about the Uncle Nearest commercial.
Yep.
Now, I got to admit, whether you find it to be the best or not, I will say this, and I'm being biased probably. Out of all commercials I've seen about whiskey, you got the Mila Kunis commercial where she's, kind of looking all cool.
I saw that.
And that's, it's straight.
That was cool.
Matthew McConaughey, he's walking around doing his McConaughey thing. Normal.
Yeah.
But I got to admit, yes, I'm in Uncle Nearest commercial and all that, and I will say, man, there was some time.
There's a small level of bias, but
there's small level of bias. Yeah. But something about that commercial makes you understand what is going behind that brand. Let me tell you, Uncle Nearest itself, Uncle Nearest 1856, is a whiskey brand that we have built, and my guy actually say this in there, drink by drink.
Yeah.
We're building the brand, and I think about it is, I actually got that from a guy on our team, a guy named Damian Shine.
Okay.
Damian Shine has been in the business for over 30 years, right?
Okay.
He worked for Brown Foreman, older guy, real cool cat. And we had a meeting, we would have all these meetings, and he would say, look, you do your job as long as every day you tell somebody about Uncle Nearest, share a drink with them, and just let them know the story. He said, that's your job.
Okay.
If you can do that it don't matter who gets on board, just tell one person every day. And that'll do it. He said, that's how you build a brand.
Yeah.
It's not about all this other stuff that they're going to show you with these. Now, we did have a celebrity in ours, no doubt. Very, very, very cool cat. Jeffrey Wright, right now, the nearest thing that most people know is him in Westworld, which we always talk about.
Right,
Bernard. Yep. And so, but I still, every time I still think about him, man, I still think about him playing Peoples Hernandez in Shaft. I really do, man. To me, Jeffrey Wright, Basquiat. I mean, he did Basquiat, but beyond all that, going back to what I was saying, building this brand drink by drink, and you see the grind. Now, you know me. I'm always saying go out there, make some moves, mixing it up, and I'm always telling y'all that this is exactly what that portrayed.
It did.
You see us absolutely. You see us out And so DC, I'm driving around DC.
Right.
You know, mixing it up with
touching the
cats.
people.
Touching the people,
That's
baby.
what you gotta do.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't out here about like, and see, the thing about this is we're not salesmen. We don't sell. That's why that one lady in LA who's a good friend of mine, May. May is our only, which is crazy, man. I'll say this. She's our first female ambassador for Uncle Nearest. I'm pretty sure we have a lot more. We actually had some before, but they're no longer with us. But May is our only female ambassador right now. So May was out in LA. Damien was out in Atlanta. And here I am in DC. And the thing about it is you see us actually touching the people,
right?
And I love that about it.
Yeah, you gotta get it in people's hands. It's like anything else. It's like so. I like how you're building it and how you're growing it is how you supposed to grow a business, like brick by brick.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, brick by brick, drink by drink, and that's how we're doing it. And I think that dude, I will tell you this, man. Doing that commercial, man. The guys who shot that. Well, let me say this: the team that shot that, it was led by two guys, David and Steve. And those guys were incredible, dude. Okay. I mean, just the fact.
Yeah, it looked great.
Dude, thank you, man. It was supposed to look and feel very much like vlog type of style. Like, this is real. This is what we're doing. And they really got us in our element. It wasn't like, okay, let's pretend that you're doing it. Nah, bro.
That's whack.
They like, drive here and just tell us what you're doing with Uncle Nearest.
Yeah.
Or they're like, let's go out here and you meet up with some people and we're going to just film what you do.
That's perfect.
Dude, it was
perfect.
real.
That's perfect. Yeah, it was great. It was
Thank
great.
You, man. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah. When you sent it and I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Man.
That's kind of cool.
Dude, we'll put a link in it.
Because I didn't catch it on television.
Yes.
Like I caught
it. Because it was late. By the time the game went off on the East Coast side, it's late. It's about 1 a.m. It finally did air. In this area.
Because it was in, what did you, Esquire?
Yeah, Esquire.com.
Yeah, that's what you sent me. Yeah, I was like,
they kind of leaked it, which was cool. So, I mean, we'll put a link down there to the actual video if we could do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we could do that. But even if you just type in Uncle Nearest Why, because the name of that commercial, what they call it, the Why, WHY, and they're kind of telling you the reason why we're doing this whole thing. But yo, really big shout out to Jeffrey Wright.
For sure.
I actually DM'd him, right? I told Ashley, I said, look, I'm just gonna DM him and see what happened. I DM him this little like three sentences or whatever, talking about how great it was. He actually DM'd me back.
Oh, nice.
And I said, okay, bet.
Okay.
Then like about a few minutes later, he started following. I said, boom.
Boom.
There you go. Me and my homie Jeff. So now it's my homie Andre 3000. I'm gonna meet my new homie Jeffrey Wright. We about to do some things. But to be honest, man, it was a lot of love. I'm really glad that he has taken a lot to it. Oh, I do want to mention this real fast.
Yeah, do that.
There is a podcast called The Story. And Jeffrey Wright is narrating this actual podcast for this season. Damn. Didn't know about it.
That's probably fire.
Dude, fire.
Yeah.
The first story, he's telling stories about unknown African Americans. Crazy, right? The first story he's telling is the story of Uncle Nearest. It's only like a 10-minute, 15-minute episode.
That's perfect.
But I'm telling y'all, go up on
I got too many podcasts, so I need some short ones.
I know. This is a short one.
Yeah, I need some short ones. These motherfuckers be on there for like 2 hours and 3 hours. I'll be like, I ain't got 3 hours.
Yeah. But see, I like, because every time I got to drive to DC or whatever, I mean, I like to listen to my podcast, my books right now. But I'm going to tell y'all, please check out The Story being narrated by Jeffrey Wright. He actually tells you the story of Uncle Nearest. It's called Turning Water into Gold. So Turning Water into Gold on The Story. It will tell you the story of how Uncle Nearest and Jasper Daniels came together. Okay. And so definitely check that out.
The Story.
Yeah.
That's all it's called?
It's really like beautiful kind of like artwork.
Is it a NPR thing or no?
I know it's like that's like a really good question. Let me see. I actually got mine saved on here, right here. You see it? The second one down?
I got it. Yeah, I found it.
So the story, the episode I'm telling y'all about is called Turning Water into Gold. That episode will tell you the story.
Oh, these are perfect.
There you go.
Yeah, these
are
perfect.
Quick listens.
Yeah, I don't need no more hour plus podcast.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. We got plenty. And we giving you one at that.
I'm giving you one anyway. Me and Mac kind of been talking about
Come on.
oversensitivity.
Yes.
To comedy.
Yes.
Like to things that I don't know.
Just comedy.
It's just people laughing, just people telling these jokes, and just bringing levity to situations that are otherwise heavy in nature.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Something that's just like, oh my gosh, like you don't want to talk about it.
Right.
But then if somebody's up there giving you some, some comedy with it,
Exactly.
it's digestible a little
Oh,
bit.
absolutely.
But I feel like we've come to a point where they're trying to censor some of it to a degree, to a point where it's just like comedians are being, I guess you could say, hesitant to come out and say certain things and push envelopes like they used to. Some.
Right.
There's some that don't care what you're talking
They're like,
about.
I'm gonna come out with mine, whatever.
So I don't know. I just thought it would be a good, like, let's just walk through this thing. Like,
so I like this.
So my thing is like, when do you think the crux of this oversensitivity began? Like, where do you think? Because I can't, like, back in the day when I used to even like watch some of the comedy or listen, to records that my dad had Red Fox records. Ooh, and
yes.
What's that? Oh my God, the lady. Oh my God, my dad would kill me right now.
The lady.
Something. God dang it.
During the Red Fox time?
Yeah, during around that Mom's Mabley, something like that.
Ooh.
Oh,
I'm bad with it.
My dad would kill me if he was alive. Like,
because
I'm supposed to know this. Dick Gregory and people like that.
Oh, Dick Gregory. Wow.
Even, taboo to say, but even back then we was listening to Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Not too taboo to say, but I get you.
It is, because
he was a great comedian.
It's cancel culture, man.
I know, but that's I mean,
we gotta cancel everybody.
I mean, think about it though. I mean, look, any of these people. Not only that. I mean, you have some other ones on here, but
I agree with the fact that if he is guilty of, like, he was guilty of all these things, so to a certain extent, it's very difficult to take in some of that anymore. But
yeah, okay.
I think that. And a lot of these quote unquote, I'm getting ahead of myself. So when do you think people became so sensitive to comedy? Like, to things that are supposed to make you kind of just laugh and think about it, but then kind of forget about it.
I think this is what happened. I think two parts.
Yeah.
I think the first time it started, okay, I'm going like, I think this is probably going to start in the early 2000s, probably around 2000. When did Obama become president? I don't remember. I remember what year it was.
It was like 2000 and
So I know my dad had passed away, so it was after 2002. It was probably 2008. Oh, 7 or 8.
Probably 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Because that is terrible that we don't.
That's all good. It's all good. But I think around. So that was. I think honestly, it's around right before then. I'm gonna tell you why. I think during that time, America being
we were close. It was 2009.
2009. Okay, but let's go back to 07. I think around 07, 08 is at a time when things became, especially in American culture, a lot of things were put out there. Like, you're getting more and more Black Americans that are trying to get involved in more executive positions. More women are getting involved in executive positions. Then, of course, Native American, Latino American, Asian American, all these things are kind of creeping up slowly but surely.
Right.
And at this time, a lot of media is having to pull in more diversity into their commercials.
Yeah.
Or more diversity. They're being actually EEOC and all these things are kind of getting on people like saying, you need to bring this diversity in.
Exactly.
So what happens is, I think as things became more equal, which is crazy to say, maybe because we're talking about equity and equality and two totally different things. They're becoming more equal to make them more to make the playing field more level, which is not going to happen like that.
Ever.
And that's the problem. But I think, and so that's why I think the oversensitivity comes, because I think what's happening is why the equality is going up. Again, that equity, that entire level playing field, we're realizing is not going to really happen.
It's not going to exist.
It's not going to exist.
The other thing, you remember if you remember, we come from an era where media and stuff that happened in media was covered by people that were actually in the space of media. So what I mean by that is all of this access to each other on a 24/7 basis, which kind of started around that time. Like with the Twitter was here, obviously. You know, we have connectivity to each other, so we can actually have these conversations. Not just in our neighborhood, not just at our school, not just at church, not just at wherever we interface. We can have this conversation with the world on a platform, and that amplified.
There you go.
The instead of if a comedy special came on and let's just say Andrew Dice Clay said something crazy, said something nuts,
right?
Would
do,
yeah. The only voice that would be heard on a world scale was the people that were on television, radio, or any other.
And they're not going to cover it that way.
Newspaper, and they're not going to cover it that way. No.
So this is what I was going to say. I was going that way. So I think as things became more equal and all this stuff, then all of a sudden you bring in social media. Now, like you said, thing about social media is now the barbershop talk.
Oh my gosh,
is not only in the barbershop. Now it goes global.
It's
right?
everywhere.
And one thing I think that other cultures outside of Black America did not know is just how loud and how impactful and how aggressive let's just say Black people talk. They do. And so the thing about it is all of a sudden now you're getting that microphone that might be just in one church or one, like I said, in one basketball game or your neighborhood.
Wherever you grew up.
All of a sudden, boom. And so all of a sudden that's why you get people to say, oh, they're going to call it out like that? Now, I don't think it's only Black American. I don't think that. I think also then they started seeing how women, all these more marginalized groups that were smaller, that did not have a voice, that were not being covered by TV, all of a sudden now you hear it. Now, that's not to say it's a good or a bad thing. I just think that all of a sudden, once awareness, because here's what people will say, well, see, that's the thing. They should never got to. No, it's not that. It's the awareness, right?
Right.
Once people became more aware, more woke, whatever you want to call it, more aware. I know, but the term was woke. The term was woke for a minute. But more aware of what was really being, what was really at hand when it became how they were portraying things in media. People then said, okay, well, look, we got to do something about that. How do we do something about that? And that's how this sensitivity towards what you say,
I agree,
and what you do. So it's a double-edged sword. Social media has given voice to the voiceless, but it's making things having to be canceled out.
Exactly. It has it's created echo chambers everywhere.
There we go.
It's created, I can actually. And this is the thing that I don't understand. This is the thing that I don't understand why other people don't understand this. Hate grows faster than love. It just does. Because that's just
faster.
It does.
Love.
Period.
Jeez.
It does. I'm sorry.
Because love takes.
That's
love
always
is hard.
the society we've lived in.
That's true.
That
might be global. That's global, right? I
think
that's
what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if you hate something,
it's easy to
hate is why you have the president you have.
Good God.
Not because of love. You can love all the people you want, you know what I'm saying? But hate is going to drive something and put so much attention behind it. Like you literally gave an individual so much attention that you were forgetting about the things that people like, hey, I'm broke. Hey, we still drinking this nasty ass water in
like,
Flint.
Nah, man.
Hey,
I ain't down for that. I'm hating on some other shit.
You know what I'm saying?
It's real.
There's all these things and you're busy feeding into, this energy. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not even blaming him. Because he just gave, as we say in the inner city communities, in the urban space, the urban space, we say he gave you the vibe. Okay,
there it is,
and y'all took it.
That's real.
He gave you the vibe, and y'all took it. Y'all on there, you little orange faced bastard. All this talking, all this stuff. Literally,
they do be getting on that, man.
Getting at him is like
tired of that.
You're pushed. Your energy is flowing in the wrong direction.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So I feel like if we don't understand that the hate that you give is the hate that you're going to get back, obviously, but we can't just love something that, we just going to pour them with love. We just going to love.
When they go low, we go high?
Nah, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? But you can't feed into it.
Man is not down for it.
You can't feed into that. Like you have to stay on target with what you're talking. And I feel like, so what I'm getting at is I feel like a lot of comedians have good intentions behind some of the jokes that they're telling.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's
some
comedy,
are just
though.
shock and awe. And I'm not talking about those individuals. I'm saying sometimes when you say something about, like one comedian the other day said something about R. Kelly, and I guess it was too soon and people got at him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just too soon or whatever.
Dude,
but
Def Comedy Jam could not exist right now.
It would not be able to exist right now because they would cancel everybody.
Everybody.
They would cancel Martin. They would cancel Joe Torre.
Right.
They would cancel Eddie Griffin. They would cancel
See,
everybody.
that's what I'm saying, though, Chris.
Hughley.
People need to understand this double-edged sword is going to take away some of the good stuff.
It takes away
your artistic expression.
Artistic expression, and actually some of the civil liberties that are granted to you by the Constitution, which is called free speech.
Right. Well, this is a thing. You can say it.
Yeah.
But just be prepared.
You gotta be. So
we're gonna cancel you.
Man, I'm like, yo, y'all got
I'm
to.
with it.
So this is the other thing is like, y'all will talk about a comedian and what they're saying, because I know the voice, actual, like, speaking is more powerful than people actually watching with dialogue or whatever. But how is a movie that may give you the same like type of, I guess you could say, quote unquote, the idea of what the comedian is talking about, if it's put in movie form, is cool with y'all.
Right.
Y'all sit up there and watch it. Oh, that was the greatest movie, great, blah, blah, blah. But when a comedian is just adding levity to something,
right,
then you have a problem with it. They're both forms of entertainment.
You know why? Because you could take
it's a voice. It's
true, right? But also you could take a small take. It's also, look, 15-second takes are all we see necessarily now.
Pretty much.
We can look at something for 15 seconds and say, oh, this is horrible, this is terrible. Right. These people need to be, condemned. I think that's it. When you see things out of context, but again, that's why I keep telling people, look, you got to think about comedy. But here's my problem. Some people disguise the way that they really think or what they really mean under comedy too.
Absolutely.
So you got to be. That's what people say. I just think you do have to be responsible for anything. Even us, we have to be responsible for what we say, only because everything is influential. Yeah. They don't disguise that. Social media influencers.
Right.
That does not mean social media kings and queens and leaders.
No.
It means influencer.
In that space.
That just means you're just getting. Look, alcohol is an influencer.
It is.
Okay. My point is saying that doesn't mean that alcohol is king or queen.
No, that doesn't.
You have to be very careful about what you take in and what you put out.
Exactly.
So, but you're right. Some of these things that people are so sensitive about that we know are just jokes. Mm-hmm. We have to really sit back and think. But this is hurting somebody in some ways. My thing, look, it's true, man. If we keep going this route, we do become very paper thin, right?
I agree.
Can't nobody take a daggone joke.
I agree.
Yeah.
You can't be creative. You can't, for a comedian, like I liken it to a musician. Like if you come in there and you just start snatching instruments away and you say, oh, you can't use this, you can't use that. Oh, you can't say that either. Oh, you can't really do that. Yeah. Then you just sit in there and you just in this space of like, well, what the hell am I going to actually talk about?
I'm going to tell you what, man, that movie, Time Machine.
Yeah.
When he goes into the future.
Oh, yeah.
And all of them look the same.
Yeah.
And nobody cares about anything else.
That's what people.
Dude, I'm trying to tell you, they might have been on point about that scene.
Look, I'm like,
y'all ain't seen that movie. Go back and watch the first Time Machine when they go into the future and they see all them jokers look the same. And that girl is drowning and they'll do nothing to help her. Just go back and look at that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Just trying to understand why.
Yeah.
Not even when, why. And I get if something. Let's just say tragic happened. You know what I'm saying? Something tragic happened to you centered around some of these quote unquote movements for profit.
You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Some of these movements for profit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, I'm not diminishing in any way.
Yeah.
Your story or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. But if a comedian can go into a space, let's just say a comedian goes into a space where it's a crowd of people that doesn't look like him. That's an opportunity. I watched somebody last night. Mo, he's on Netflix. He has a Netflix special. Mo Amir. Yeah, he's a refugee of this country from from Iraq or whatever. During the times where you just did not want to be in Iraq.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? So he was just, and a lot of his comedy was centered around I guess that taboo, like immigrant story.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of things. He said some really uncomfortable things in there.
Bet.
You could see some of the, Caucasian, audience was kind of like, ugh,
yeah.
God, I don't know if I should laugh at this.
Dude, I'm telling you,
I don't know if I should laugh. Like,
I kind of hate it, man, because I got to admit, man, from a lot of other cultures, man, when they hear things that would be considered a marginalized or minority culture, it's hard for anybody else to partake. And so I think by the comforts of your own home inside watching Netflix, it might be easy for them to absorb it. And I kind of actually feel in a certain way, I feel like that's hard. Because here's my thing, and I've been saying this before, we're becoming more and more a culturalist global economy.
I agree. Yeah,
because everything now is starting to meld so much that you can't differentiate one from the other.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening is it's just kind of like, the N-word for all sakes of argument. It has lost a lot of its thunder I think in the black community. It doesn't pain people as much as I think it did at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that a lot of other cultures are like trying to understand, well, if it doesn't pain you so much and it's in your music and I love this music, can I say it? Right. Why can't I say it? They say it among their own friends anyway. What I'm trying to say is all of a sudden that term is going to lose the culture that it even connected to, which might be a good or a bad thing. I don't know.
Right.
It's just all of a sudden it loses that part of it. I'm not saying I want to claim it. I'm just trying to say that's what's happening.
We both know there's certain things you say and you don't, just as an underlying written rule, but it does undermine the actual rule when you're sitting up here calling yourself those things.
There you go.
Because I gotta be honest, like I use it, but it's just,
of course.
there's a lot of hypocrisy in this world.
Well, it's a cultural. Hypocrisy or not, it's a cultural thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things where, if for cultural significance reasons, there's things that are said, there's things that people eat in their culture, there's things that people do, their customs, and when you don't recognize or give homage to where that's from, and you just blend it into other things, you're kind of, I don't know, man, in some ways you're kind of bastardizing it, right?
Right.
You're kind of letting it be. So I'm going off far in that, but I'm just trying to say, I think the oversensitivity towards comedy is really because now you're blending and meshing things so much together that when somebody is offended with something, as in one time, man, trust me, a lot of things were coming out that offended Black Americans. A lot of times Black Americans were like, man, look, you can't say this kind of stuff. Right. And we would come up in in arms with it. And now it's because the global society has become becoming so meshed, not completely, but becoming more and more that way. We have to point out in there what needs to be removed. And so what happens is, as we become more PC, or as we become more like connected, we have to make sure that we are careful about what we say and do. And I think that's what comedy's becoming, because you got someone on here, the greats were the greats because they said stuff.
Oh yeah,
they didn't. It was just funny.
Let's take a little small or whatever, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk about like how it's gonna be impossible to have a next generation of thought leaders in comedy.
Yes,
if we keep this this
absolutely
oversensitivity, because it's like, okay, so let's just say this: if you go to a country like China, or you go somewhere like Korea, or you go and you will understand, like, I think more broader why this point makes sense, because like over there they can't consume certain things. Certain things are locked off of their internet. They can't access them.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
A social media platform in China is one that is sanctioned by the government.
Yeah.
So it's just like, all right, so if y'all want all these rules and y'all want all these things, and this, you can't talk about this and you can't talk about that, it's like, so what do you actually like?
That's it.
Like, do you just want to be walking around and everybody just looking?
Everybody looking the same and doing the same.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing about being oversensitive and just like, okay, I'm gonna police everything that comes out of your mouth, is that it like we've been talking about, it creates a creative barrier for individuals that want to speak on things, and it makes it more difficult for them to quote unquote do their job, like to do what they are blessed to do. That was a gift that they were given.
Right.
A gift that they were given was, I can turn social topics. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I had to throw my phone on the floor.
Yeah,
it was aggressive.
Yeah. Like, you gonna get this call.
for them to take topics and take things and life situations and turn them into jokes.
Yes.
And that is a skill. Like that's
a skill set.
very
Yeah,
difficult to do. I don't know if
Right.
anybody ever tried it, but it's very difficult to kind of make something heavy feel light.
Of course.
So some of the greats that I listed on here, like, okay, so I have like categories behind what I've listed for them. I said Richard Pryor, to me, when I was growing up and I was watching him, like I always knew there was like some type of pain that he was dealing some inner demon. So I call it levity of the tormented.
Wow.
Like you're tormented by things that were a part of your environment, the way you were growing up, some of the issues that you haven't dealt with in your life. And he made light of those things. In his comedy, he was sitting up there and he was talking about, you know, like the one night where he went to jail because he beat the shit out of his own car or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you just laughed when I said
it.
Because it was hilarious when he was telling it. And then when you get older and you watch it, you're just like, damn.
Yeah, that was his life.
Angry.
Yes.
What made you so angry that you went out and beat your car? Like, and it was like, what was going on in your home? What was this? And the jokes that he told kind of had this weight to it.
Yeah.
Where you understood, like, oh, okay, he's trying to enlighten a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Trying to give you some game. Like, yo, like, look, this is what I'm kind of
here's the funny thing about it. Maybe also at that point, people don't see this is interesting. Do we feel like that comedy still has a place? Because now...
I don't think so now.
Right, because now the world has gotten more aware or...
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it.
I know.
Easier in some ways.
No, like I feel like, I feel like people are just more... They just want to see silly comedy all the time. And you get so much comedy.
Yeah, you do.
You get
especially
so
now.
much.
Yeah,
Like I said, it comes with that access. Ha Davis and Spice Adams.
Yeah.
And you get all of these channels that come up. And you just get it. It's very hard to be a comedian right now. Just like it's extremely hard to be anything in entertainment right now.
It's hard
because
to be
there's so much of it. There's so much of it.
Okay, right.
You know,
but that's the thing.
And the ones that do a really good job, the ones that are the exceptional ones, you should say, because some are just lucky. And I'm not gonna say it because I want to collaborate with one of the lucky ones.
There you go. Come on.
I definitely want to collaborate with one of the because the individual that I'm talking about, he's not necessarily bringing anything to the space that wasn't there before. He's just extremely silly and like people just enjoy him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
He's seen a tremendous amount of success or whatever. But I don't want to throw him under the rug. But there are comedians out here that constantly push the envelope. I think D.L. Hewley is a very cerebral. Like he's very like he's locked in when he's telling his like if you watch
Dave Chappelle, those kind of cats.
Dave Chappelle is so I was doing it in layers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you rushed.
My bad. I'm jumping. Yeah, I'm getting excited. I'm in it. I'm in the zone with it. Come on.
Dave Chappelle is literally the king to me.
I think so.
Because
but let's talk about that though.
Yeah,
let's talk about it. Like I think why is he the king? What made him? Because I think that in some ways, is he still giving content that is for the oversensitive or not? I mean, is he dumbing down his comedy at all to work for today's time?
Not. Like
and he's not.
If you watched his last 2 specials, you would see no. Like, cause he said some jokes in there where the crowd was like, oh, like he had a lot of jokes in there that had some heavy weight to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there was rape culture in there. There was like he was touching. He was touching.
He was going
on
old school
things.
comedy with some things.
Some like the thing now is comedians will like kind of like volley around it. Like they're like, okay, I'll just say some stuff kind of around it that's kind of hinting towards that, but I'm not going to go all the way into that deep end.
See, you know what? I think that's
he goes all the way into the deep end, but you have to know how to do that. And the only way you know how to do that is if I guess like a lawyer has to study so many law journals, so when they go argue something in court, they can sit up there and talk about like, hey,
you got to have a lot. I
have a basis.
You got to be a person of the. You got to do your research, right?
And it's the reason I'd say he's the king is because in everything with him, he thinks about long term. Like he looked at the Chappelle show, which was in our eyes, it was entertaining to us,
absolutely,
but he was just like, this is. for me to be doing this week in and week out, this is socially irresponsible of me to be pushing some of the narratives that I'm pushing.
He thought it was a minstrel show that he was doing.
Yeah, it's a minstrel show.
Yeah,
like, I can't do
absolutely.
this. I'm not going to continue to do this. I have to do this in another way. So he had to go away for a little bit. And now he came back, and the money, like literally, this is what energy does. It's like you leave something where people are like, oh, he's stupid. I'd have took that 100 million out of whatever I did, or whatever it was, whatever the amount was, and he came back and got way more than that for 3 specials.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
But, see, but he's also speaking to the culture, and the culture meaning when I say that, I'm thinking that he's giving you a Black American cultural perspective.
Yeah,
when he's doing his
comedy.
You
can't create icons like
to
that.
Be honest.
In an oversensitive culture like that we live in. You can't.
See, but that's the problem. That's why I say it's about, look, we look at it, and I used to hate my mama when somebody would say, you know, this is the signs of the end of the world or whatever. But I think you're looking at the last great legends. And the reason I'm saying this is because I don't think you can really create legends out of is it a simulation? When everything's the same. Yeah. When everything is kind of like.
Even when you get too much of.
Exactly. It's hard to get a legend out of there. Yeah. Or you're going to look at some people that's going to become a legend that are going to be like very far and few in between. Right. Almost mystical in their nature. But I think we're already kind of getting there. Like, I think that Chappelle, I'm trying to think, in 10 years and a decade from now, can you bring out somebody else that's going to be like as legendary as a Chappelle? And I just don't think you're going to have the content. Yeah, you won't have the content to have to bring that anymore. I don't think.
Not when you have... You know, and this is a number I'm throwing out. When you have millions of channels doing the same thing,
I'm telling you,
it's just too much. It's like, who do you choose?
So, let's say you go out left and you do something crazy, and the people saying, "Oh, this guy's different."
You almost have to do something crazy just to get noticed now in any regard. Like, look at Spice Adams' channel. Yeah. Look at his channel. Look at some of the stuff that literally he has to do just to get the attention that he got last year.
But I'm telling you this,
and it's just like,
I think he's using cultural significance to still make it funny, because I think here's what happens. A lot of the new comedians, the younger ones especially, they don't touch cultural significance because they're at a time they grew up in the 90s, or shoot, 2000, and the cultural divide wasn't as vast as it was in the 80s or the 70s or even before that. So now I think that's what, and they're having to pull from that. That's why all the comedians like the Pryors, you know, Murphy, you know, they pulling from their past, and they're saying these are things that I could talk about that y'all growing up at this time could feel. Whereas think about it now, these younger generation, I kind of feel bad because content wise, what do you have that really can set you out on your own?
They have, platform? And this is the thing. They have struggles of their own. They do have struggles. Like like back in our day, we didn't have all these school shootings.
That's true.
Bruh.
That's true.
Like the first school shooting I ever heard about in my life was Columbine.
Well, we actually had one at my school, but I'm feeling you. But it wasn't like that. Yeah, so
and like
it wasn't vast. Yeah,
the gun violence I've always known because I lived, you know, in a suburb outside of Baltimore, and like, so, you know, like literally I'm not a stranger to that. So that's always a component there. There's always things.
But is that an internal struggle though?
It is, like, it can be.
I guess it can be. You could be tormented by it if you were there.
Absolutely.
You can have trauma from that.
So my thing is like, if you're not in that,
I can see a comedian going that.
You could talk about how, you know, comedians could talk about, like, and one dude does a really good job. I think his name's Hassan Minaj or something like that. Minaj, so he
was related to Nicki Minaj?
I don't know his name, bro. I'm like, I'm fucking everybody's name up to date.
Nah, I feel you.
Whatever. He has his name. His first name is Hassan. I know that for a fact.
The cat off of Trevor Noah show?
Trevor Noah. No. Hold on.
Oh, that guy thinks that was Hassan.
I'm gonna find him.
But I'm with you. Yeah, but my bad.
What I was saying was the comedians that are coming up now, I can tell they're just trying to be, like, a lot of them are just trying to be silly and just do silly things. Just, okay, I need to get on. And then maybe if you get on after you do all these silly things and shift the narrative, fine, that's your get on or whatever. But I'm not seeing a whole lot of that. So once you get on and then, okay, we understand. You're right there. We see you. Okay, you're making. That's why I kind of like Ha Ha Davis. Let me tell you why.
Okay, all right.
Because
I like Ha Ha Davis. I do.
You know, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, that's a dude that's finna be a breeze. Is
that
this guy?
Finna be a breeze.
I love that mentality because if you watched if you watch some of his comedy, it's always centered around things that plague the community of minorities.
Of course.
So he's talking about jail culture.
Yeah, he does.
He's talking about jail culture
or poverty.
Yeah,
you know
poverty
what I'm saying? Something like
and
that.
things like that. So I'm making you laugh.
Man, and one second, my man was throwing dollars out at the club.
Yeah,
because I make it rain. He started picking that back up. Like, you know
Yeah.
what, man? I like an idiot in here. You know, so he is talking about that culture, right?
So it's
Absolutely.
like when you have comedians like that,
yeah,
it kind of makes me like, okay, so there is like a glimmer of hope because everybody's just being there's a glimmer there.
But I'm telling you, that's
Yeah.
because you can still pull. They're still pulling right now from cultural significance, and I think that once you get to a point where the culture collides and meshes so much,
You tell me what you think
It's
his
gonna
name
be
is.
hard.
That's who I'm talking about.
yeah. That's the cat from Trevor Noah's show. That's why it
Yeah,
pops up.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no. He's doing something.
How
That's
you
good.
say that? Minha?
Oh, I ain't even gonna try.
Bruh,
I can't.
oh
Yeah,
my
his son.
gosh. Messed his name
I'm gonna
all
tell you
up.
the reason why I'm saying about him though is, and I think this is what you're gonna get because you look at the comedians you named on Netflix.
Yeah.
They are not necessarily Black American, African American comedians.
Yeah.
Because now all of a sudden the cultures that we have not touched or do not know about
Right.
are not the Black culture,
Right.
or are not the white American culture or the gay
Right.
culture. Now it's the ones that are even more marginalized that we didn't know about.
That's true.
You know the
And they're getting a voice.
absolutely the Middle
One of
Eastern,
the first ones that
Asian, all that.
One of the first, I guess, minority outside of being black was that I kind of took to was Ray Romano.
Yeah.
And he has a new special because I used to love the show Everybody Loves Raymond. I used to love
Right.
that show.
Oh man, nah, yeah.
Because it was like, I like things that are centered kind of around truth. Like,
Yeah,
how he
yeah.
lived with his parents until he got on, and him and his wife lived in their basement, and he kind of was
Thinking
doing
something. Right.
doing comedy shows, and he worked his way out of his mama basement to being who Ray Romano is. So that's just ingenious in itself. And his comedy, like the general overall theme of this is like, you're not going to inspire a lot of comedians to come out and want to push the envelope and want to do things that are going to push their communities forward and get people thinking in a direction outside of just being stupid and silly.
Absolutely.
If we are so hypersensitive to everything. Now it's a double-edged sword because there are comedians, and we know some that will say certain things that they're just trying to get a rise out of people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're just trying to get, because they understand that hate builds a following faster than actual love does. It does, man. I'm sorry to say it, but it does.
Jeez.
It's a horrible thing to say.
You know, it's kind of true, man. When you have a villain,
it ain't kind of true. It's true.
Jeez.
Look at I don't want to
think about it.
look at Tommy Loren.
Yeah.
Think about
who she is.
anytime that girl says anything on social media, anytime that girl says anything, everybody's attacking her.
Right, because it's coming from her. And
if you're attacking her,
popular.
Any comment is a comment. Like, this is my thing.
Any
So
comment
if you
is a comment.
if
Right,
I
right.
put up a video on YouTube, right,
Right.
and you're looking for YouTube to push and boost your video up to the top and make suggestions without you having to shell out money.
Yeah.
The way that you do that is if they see the algorithm likes to see engagement. The engagement isn't differentiating whether or not it's positive
That's
or
true.
negative. And I'm telling you, if something is negative,
Right, it's gonna go. It's
and
fire.
people
Boom.
are just, and then people are down there just boxing with
Dude,
each other,
listen,
fighting
let me
and fighting.
tell you. Let me tell you. Let me say this. One of my all-time heaviest. Well, you guys that followed the YouTube channel Let's Get Made TV. You already knew the all-time biggest views were the ones that I was with the twins on there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and most of those comments at that time were negative.
Yeah.
Mac in the baby seat. Mac in the baby chair.
in the baby
you know what I'm
seat.
saying?
I remember
and
that.
And this all goes back only because
you tried to act like it wasn't bothering you and shit. But
well,
it was kinda,
I mean,
you was like, hold on,
this is
man.
my thing. I felt like,
Chris, am I that short?
yeah, and
I'm not that short.
because I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. I was like, dude, I'm being honest. When I would go back to the video, I'm like, but why is it? And I was like, oh, because they had a baby seat in the back.
They was talking about me on there too, bro.
But listen, it put us in the forefront, right?
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, you get all this activity. I mean, boosted up out of really, whether it was hate or love. People say, "Oh, I just like to fuck with you," and I thought it was just funny.
Yeah.
But they were hateful comments. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how else to put it. But at the same rate, I didn't really care because it didn't bother me. Then it got to the point I was like, okay, how do you get out of that?
Yeah.
And I think the way you get out of that is you have to either not go in that direction and have to kind of pull yourself away from it.
You ignore
which
it.
is what I did. Well, see, I think you kind of can. You kind of can't.
Yeah.
I think you have to address it and let people know, all right, that ain't what I'm going for.
Yeah.
And if you want to see that, I can't give it to you.
But how many times you address it? You just address it once, and then you go, like, this is the thing.
Yeah, okay, I'm with it. I'm with that. You don't give power to it. Yeah, yeah.
So, hate wins when you keep addressing it over and over again. So what your president did was say, all right, I said this. And then you say, look, I don't agree with that. You retarded, whatever the hell.
Right.
And then you're supposed to go about your business per usual and do whatever you need to do to influence the people that you're trying to get to. Now, if he comes out again, oh, you just being a da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Then guess what? And you answered him.
Yeah. I'm with it.
You down in that rabbit hole with him.
I'm with it.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Keep talking.
Yep. I totally get what you're saying. My thing about it is this. I think that you cannot continue to respond. And I think Chris is right. I think you either got, and I hate to say it, I think a lot of times you got to censor it. I know that sounds kind of jacked up. I think you have to find a way to censor what's going on your page, on your account. I think, and people gonna say, man, that's but I think in some ways you have to, like they say, one bad apple spoils the bunch. That can be true for a lot of different reasons. When you allow that bad apple to fester among the good apples, what ends up happening is all you see and smell, it tastes is that bad apple. So my thing about it is this: when you want to address any kind of hate, when you want to address any kind of negativity, I think Chris is right. You do it one time. You put it out there, let's say what you got to say on it, move on. However, I think you have to also be mindful of what got you in that situation. If you don't want that kind of behavior to continue in that kind of way,
definitely,
then you need to remove yourself from that completely.
Right.
You know, that's how I would go for it. Now, I also believe that you're right. That is what grows accounts. That is what gets attention. So if somebody's going for that and they just want attention, like Tommy Lauren, obviously she doesn't mind that kind of attention. I mean, hell, we still talking about it here on this podcast.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
She loves it.
Right. She's got to. It's keeping it relevant. It's keeping it relevant. So
because y'all are keeping it relevant by continually talking about it. Like,
absolutely.
She'll say something that will ignite a base, a group of people. Of
course.
And that is her brand. And I don't think people understand that is literally her brand. Her brand is to excite you enough to talk about her enough to get her in the news.
Yeah, and
it's sad to say, but y'all fight.
Yeah, I know.
We fall
because you know what it is? Because it's like, and I think that's just because we have found a way to tap into that human nature of things. And this is why I keep saying the more you expose, so it's like anything else. The more you expose it, you can't deny it and you can't get away from it. So my biggest concern is what's going to end up happening is there's a certain sense or certain sensitivity towards natural humanness or natural humankind or whatever, natural human behavior, that you're going to get to that point where you're going to all of a sudden say, you know what, I'm going to actually start, what's the word, like, cutting myself off. You're going to become more dehumanized to it. So, and I'm saying all this shit. I know it sounds crazy, but I just think what I'm trying to get at.
It don't sound crazy. It sounds like the damn truth.
That's what I think it is. Yeah. I really believe that we have to understand that the more people are trying to get you into engage, look at what you're engaging with. Look at what you're engaging with and why you're engaging with it. Be mindful of that.
Like say, okay, like, all right. What did that person just say? That person just said this. You have to think about. We don't take time to process.
Yeah,
Let me just say this. We don't take time to process what the person says and come back with an educated response. We come back with an attack. And what you're expecting too is to keep going back and forth with this person. But what that person is doing, that person is literally winning in that situation because he's taking you off of whatever you're trying, whatever agenda that you're on in the first place.
Yeah.
So if we go back and if I'm talking to any of these candidates that are about to come out and run for presidency and anybody that's going to run for a seat in the next term elections or whatever, you have to be mindful of. And the reason why so many women made it to Congress, is because they're like, all right, you can keep saying what you're going to say, but at the end of the day, the facts are facts, and they gave people information that they was like, look, this is what they're doing. This is what I'm going to do. This is what they're doing. This is what I'm going to do. You have to stay on message. Like, you cannot fight somebody that's going to keep being nasty, and just keep getting down in their window because they want you to stay with them. Please stay with me. Stay in this negative place.
Because that keeps me relative at the same time, right? That's why they want to do it.
Absolutely.
I get it, man. I just, it's unfortunate because I really do believe we have to be careful about that. I think that to give things that we want that are good, more light. We need to support the things that we love.
Yeah.
And the things that are just noise, you cancel them out. Yeah.
We just need to start. So I think the things that
Yeah.
So I kind of briefly touched on it earlier, but the things that you actually believe in and the things that we have to hold true to those. We have to really like sit back and honestly say to ourselves, okay, what are the principles and what are the guidelines of how I want to run just your household at first, just in my own household, what's going on in here, because I believe some of that oversensitivity can be, I guess, diminished in a way if we teach each other in our homes better as to like, okay, right, wrong, gray area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Like we have to do a better job of saying, okay, like you shouldn't treat women like this. Men should not act like this.
Right. The Gillette commercial. Here we go.
Yeah. We're back at that again.
Yeah, but no, it's a good point though.
It's a good point. Like I said, any of those for-profit movements that are that are available. I'm not naming any of them, but it's any of those for-profit movements that come out.
Yeah.
Centered around some subject of pain or some subject of something that needs to be corrected.
Yeah.
People have to remember that they're creating an industry out of that as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? The same way you put those pink everything on in October for Susan G. Komen. How many of y'all actually go and look at what Susan G. Komen is doing with the money that you're giving them?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Come on, Chris.
No, he didn't. I'm just trying to say,
you're right though.
I'm not
That's
saying,
right.
because like for me, I don't know, but I'm saying if you're invested in the cause, quote unquote, and you say that you are, then you should know what they're doing with that money, right?
Or you just like wearing pink, and that's
or you just like wearing pink.
You got to choose whichever one you're really doing.
Everybody will put on there like, oh, this is you know, like so November is Salute the Soldiers Month or whatever. But a soldier can't get an appointment with the VA for 6 months.
Good God.
It takes a soldier 6 months, and I'm talking about a soldier that probably got a limb blew off, a soldier that is in it like. So we have to think about some of these things that are created, some of these movements that are created around pain.
Yeah.
And like, okay, if they're pushing a narrative, that's cool. We can stay on that narrative.
Yeah.
But honestly, you have to like, it starts with your own house. You know what I'm saying? It starts with where you're at. Like, because those are, you have to think. You just have to be smart a little bit. Like, well, those are industries. You know, nonprofit industry, it's an industry. I don't give a damn what you say. It is.
You can say nonprofit, but it's an industry. And somebody's getting some money off of that.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny you say that, man. I remember this one little thing. I don't know how on point this is going to be to say this, but there was this show. I'm pretty sure some of y'all saw it, but it's called I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. A long time ago, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, but there's this scene. This one, it's a classic. Yeah. They got this scene with Clarence Williams III up in there who's hilarious. And he says, he's talking about like Black Power and all this stuff, and he says, and the guy says, I think one of the Wayans, what was the older Wayans? Keenan Alvar Wayans plays a soldier boy, and he says, "Man, what happened to all your supporters, all your members, and everything that were against this kind of, you know, the kind of the corruption?" And he said, and Clarence Williams III says, you know, the brothers went in with guns. Yeah. And they came out with jobs.
They came out with jobs.
And that changed that whole movement, you know? But it's
you
one of those
can't
things.
even make a movie like that now.
Nah, you can't.
When you think about it.
Because I'm telling you, man, because you're losing the culture of it.
They was like the other day when the, y'all, you know, the senator down here, was it the governor senator?
Oh, yeah, with the blackface?
Yeah, with the dude or whatever. I kind of just, you know. This is going to sound bad, people, but I laughed. I was like, yo, this dude is crazy, man. These motherfuckers is crazy. Look at this nigga, man. I was like, you know, man. And he was like, that ain't me. I mean, look, I'm gonna say this. He said he took that picture how many years ago? Oh my God, I don't care. Yeah.
I mean, but look, context though. Context does matter. I'm sorry.
I mean, he got to get out of here. He got to get. I mean,
I feel you, Chris.
He got to get.
I feel you,
but it's like,
God, you
got to give people a chance to grow.
That's my point. And this is a picture. I don't know. He was in college. He was in college.
Think about some of the
exactly.
Oh my God!
You put some stuff I did on college. Now I didn't do nothing.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. People get on these high horses or whatever, and they ride around like they goddamn Don Quixote and shit,
exactly,
or whatever. Like, but had a camera been on your ass at all times in college, can you honestly say 100% of the time I don't have anything in there that people might go,
And I'm saying, and if you're that squeaky clean,
Yeah.
how much growth as a person can you really have?
I can't even talk to
you. You see what I'm saying? I can't, because you're not a
even-
real person.
I can't even talk
You
to
an
you.
android.
You ain't
You're
never
from
been through
Westworld.
nothing. You
I mean,
ain't
that's what
been
I'm
through
saying.
nothing.
That's why I think, man, honestly, I'm not upset about it.
Yeah.
I think it deserves a comment or a conversation. I think, but if I would rather him say, because he's not what do you call it? He's not confessing. He's not saying he did it.
Yeah.
All right. He's saying that wasn't me.
Yeah, you got to own up to it.
You got to own up to it.
See, this
but
is
even then, it's a scary place for him to do that, though. If he owns up to it, they can be like, well, you got to get out then. That's how. That's
exactly
what you got to pay.
right. That's exactly
You can't
right.
say, look, man, I've grown since then, and people don't want to hear that.
I've certainly
Or
done some
whatever.
things that people would have been like, yeah, we gotta get Chris the hell up out of
Chris
here.
wilding out.
You Chris crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nuts.
I trust me. I get it, man.
And but at the same time, it's just like if you own it, like if he would have owned it, I probably would have felt a little bit better. Like, yeah, that was me. I was 20 years old. I was stupid. I
That's
was
the biggest
influenced.
thing.
I was that, bro.
That's the biggest
If
thing right
you
now.
think
Own
that-
up to it.
Come on, man. Like,
Own
you
up
gotta
to it.
own up
I
to
mean,
it.
I think all these guys that have
Take
been
the
thrown
L.
at take the L.
Yeah.
Take the L and then move on. I think that in some ways, I think Kevin Hart did that. I think Kevin
You
Hart
have
fessed
to.
up to it.
You have
and he was
to.
like, yeah, of course I made these comments. I did this thing, but that was the time.
With the whole
I've grown
cheating
since then.
situation, remember?
Oh yeah, that too.
Remember
Man, that
with the-
video was crazy anyway.
Yo, he was just
he was like sad about having that
Yeah.
sex. I mean, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go in here and cheat.
Look, they
I mean,
ain't
he wasn't
extorting me. Look,
exactly.
look
He
at
didn't
this.
walk in there like,
Yeah.
man, I'm about to tear this ass up. Have a video with somebody really up in there, like, because he looked like he was already like I'm just
He
like
didn't look
sad about
excited,
it.
Mac. He didn't look excited.
He
He
walked
was
in there
just
like, okay, you want to do this? All right, let's go and do it.
Like,
you know,
what are
lay
you
on
doing?
down.
Like-
yeah, I thought he would have walked in that joint like this, like, yeah, I'm about to tear this ass up, baby. Let's go.
Oh my god.
He walked in there sad as hell
because he
like
knew
he already got in trouble.
So it's bruh, like, cause you know when you just not doing something you supposed to, like, all right,
shouldn't have done it.
I'm literally not supposed to be here. Like, what is going
Look,
on?
I'm gonna
Like,
tell you, man. Look, this is my
Yeah.
thing. I really do believe. I might be one of the few that still believe in balance. I think you need some dark with some light. I think there's
certain.
I got some friends that are like, man, they ain't ever drank. No, I'm not trying to be pro drinking, so I can't really say all that, I guess. But I'm just saying there's certain people that have not done certain things in their life.
Okay.
And I'm like, look, man, it ain't gonna hurt you to try
You ain't gonna
things.
die.
Yeah, you ain't gonna die. But at the same rate, you got to live
I'm
your
not-
life.
Even when you talk about, so you're talking about drinking. Now, we ain't telling you to go drink no Uncle Nearest, but hell, you
Yeah.
could have a glass of wine.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, if you've never had it ever, now if you're allergic
Yeah.
or whatever, I get. But if you're just saying, well, I'm just trying to live this, whatever. But let
I'm
me
gonna
say,
be honest. I don't rock with people like that.
I can't. My dad, I'm
'Cause my
telling you,
da-
look,
exactly
one of my
what
dad,
you about to say.
my dad's comment was, don't trust a man that never smoked or drank in your life. And I mean,
Absolutely
people
not.
would say that's a crazy but look, back in the time when he was being raised, his whole point is, if that person has not tried something outside of this, if they've been, so pristine in their life, how much can they really know? And he also, his big thing was, beyond that, his whole thing was if they don't do that, they're doing something else that you can't trust.
Right.
And he's like, because everybody has to have this thing of not disconnecting, but you have to have this feeling of escape or whatever you want to call it. I don't
Yeah.
know. Have this thing that you do, whatever it may be. But his whole thing was if they do that, they must be doing something that you don't even want to be involved
Life
with.
itself is hinged upon experiences. So, like, if you haven't done any damn thing, it's just like,
You
how
ain't
much have you
lived.
really lived, though?
Dude, what's the movie with Arnold? Not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Rocky. What's his name? Balboa. Not Rocky Balboa. What's the guy? Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
He goes back and he fights Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
He's a cop.
Oh,
Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Demolition Man. Perfect example. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
When he goes into the future, whatever, he is so to them cavemanish.
Man.
And they're like, dude, you drive a car still and you eat burgers and you drink beer.
You're actually trying to have
Yeah, you like a real
sex with a woman.
Exactly. Like, what is up?
They
What's
put
wrong
these
with you?
headsets on.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that
And
part.
see-
First of all, like, this is a tangent, but that part of the movie messed me up as a
I'm
youth.
telling you.
I was just like, yeah,
What
nah,
in the hell
I'm
is
not
that?
interested
I don't
in
want
that.
that. I don't want to live in that time.
I'm not-
And that's my whole point. Now, dude, I ain't gonna front. There's certain things that I feel like when I go out now, I feel like people look at me like this Cro-Magnon ass Mac.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, like, I still like a lot of old ways.
Yeah.
And I see there's a lot of truth and value in like certain things. If you know, like chopping wood, for example. It's one of those things, splitting wood. I remember, man, there was a piece that I had over chopping wood.
Good cardio, boy.
It's good cardio. But I remember back in the day, we'd be cold outside, you got to put on gloves. Yeah, it's rough, but you out there chopping wood to make
Yeah.
a fire. versus now you just hit a button and boom, the fire comes on. I mean, that's what we got. But my whole point is,
control.
Yeah, everything now is kind of getting that. And I think that my whole point was saying, I can see a time when people don't do any more wrong because you'll get cancer if you do this. You'll do, you'll have, you might get hurt if you go do that.
Right.
And all of a sudden we become this
lifeless
figment of ourselves. Yeah, you're not really living.
Yeah.
And so I think there's certain times and there's certain things you should do in your life where you do go outside of things. You gotta live, man. People.
Yeah, you just gotta live a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like get up out of your little bubble.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen.
I don't know. Yeah, we good. I mean, we good. I ain't got nothing else. I just want to mention that. Yeah, the link is bit.ly.
There you go. Absolutely.
/ hello talkative.
My God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so just hit that up. I always put it in the subscribe, and like I said, to you SoundClouders, just come on over there and
yeah,
you might see something you like popping up here shortly.
Like, for example, I'm about to do this right here.
Right.
See, you didn't see that. If you on SoundCloud, you just saw that.
You did.
I might show you this real nice shirt I'm wearing. I'm not gonna tell you what it say.
Man.
But if you see this shirt, I might be putting somebody on right now.
I wish I could wear my college, but
I
don't. We don't ride with.
Don't worry about them. Yeah. This is the one.
Yeah.
So
get that one.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, whether we talk a little, whether we talk a lot, this has been Talkative.
Holla. You saw the little Breakfast Club interview.
I did see
where he brought that little raggedy ass control, like the little game. Did you see it?
I didn't see it.
Where he pulled the game system out?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my God. It was like he opened the box, right?
Yeah.
And pulled it out, and it was like a bunch of wires attached to it. It looked terrible. First of all, if that was the unboxing experience that I got, first of all, I'm sending it back. Can I get a refund? Okay.
I'm sorry. The way I unboxed this, I don't like it. I gotta take it back.
Imagine like.
What's wrong with the game word? I don't know.
You just got finished charging your phone. You got your in the charger. Imagine you just pulled it out the plug. And Apple just put that shit in a box.
I'm like, man, hold on. I got to take this back. Why? This is not working. Nah, bro. Look at this shit, King. Look. This look weird.
They took the earpiece and just threw it in the box.
Bro.
It looked